In life, food is never guaranteed, so when I hear prey, I take my chance. Nearly starving for the first time in a croc's life, I was presented with an opportunity by the arrival of this lone Achillo, himself hunting for food. As they say, one man's loss is another man's gain. For Sarcosuchus, anything that catches your eye might be your next meal. As you can see, this Austro raptor handed me dinner and dessert on a platter. While some newcomers present an opportunity to feast, others remind you of how even a Supercroc can look tiny among the giants. If you've been enjoying the narration and visuals so far, do consider watching till the end for the surprise and subscribing. It really means a lot. Thank you. Wait, am I unable to damage him? It was my first unsuccessful hunt. Aside from small prey, you find that even tyrants pass your territory. And you give him a bite to let him know he's not welcome. While we're safe, hidden in the water, you'll see just how big of a threat Rex is later in the story. Living in one of the only active lakes of the server, you find that other semi-aquatics might try to make your pond home. I sent out a warning to this incoming Spino, but he was more interested in building a nest and starting a family. One is reminded of how not every battle is worth fighting. I missed catching this Psittacosaurus, but that missed opportunity would pay dividends. Big mouths require a lot of food to feed, and sitting at Grassland Lake just wouldn't cut it. Hence, I decided to make a journey across the lakes and river systems of Panjura's current active zones. At the end, you'll see the surprise you've been waiting for. At first, I reached the small pond. However, its lack of depth meant that I was never safe. As far as I knew, any wrecks could wade through the shallow water and jump me, so I kept moving. Now this is what I'm talking about. I had just reached Swamp Reservoir, and now I felt like I had an actual, sizable home for the time being. The lake was decent enough. It was big and had the occasional fish spawning to eat. However, as time passed, minutes turned into hours, and hours turned into days. And soon, I was starving a bit too often for comfort. I had to try elsewhere. Reaching Redwood Basin, I found another refuge from starvation. Fish were just waiting to be eaten. But as I waited, again, no one came. So it was time to move. I spent over 30 minutes entering new lakes, scaling cliffs, and traversing the open plains. Even if a single Rex had discovered me, I would have been dead. I've finally completed over 75% of my journey, and now I'm back at the topmost lake. But due to the mountainous terrain and low player population, I knew I couldn't have thrived at this spot. And so it began, the final journey, crossing over 1 kilometer of open, desolate plains. And for all I knew, there was a Rex, lurking in the fog, just waiting to pounce on me. Hunter had become hunted. But luckily, I made it out alive. I was scared half to death though. 2 more bites and I would have been dead. Instead of taking rest, however, I had to let the Rex know that it was not allowed in or near my water. And this is where the story of my Sarco on Panjura ends for now. The climate shifted, and soon all animals had to migrate back to Gondwa. Hope you enjoyed this short documentary on my life as Sarcosuchus on NatHist Ecology. Thank you for watching, and see you next video.